Colour, Sergeant? So, I'll have your men. Now, even numbers. Form 2 lines, on the double. So.
My day at Rorke's Drift on this day probably started at some stage in the 1960s when Dad took Aidan and myself to the Dendy Theatre, and we were encapsulated by the Technicolor, the big screen, and the sounds, the red coats of the British, and the sounds of the Zulus chanting in their shields, and the panoramic views of the cliffs and the kopjes around, and the African veldt, the never-ending grasslands, and the action, the sound of the bullets, and the men crying out, and all the excitement that is the film Zulu. And of course, Michael Caine and Stanley Baker. And indeed, it was Dad's love of history that inspired us. His telling of the Wars of the Roses and the Vikings, how he would say he had a little bit of Viking in him with his deformed finger. And it was that sort of enthusiasm and love of history that passed on to myself and Aidan. And so it was on this day when I did visit Rorke's Drift that I thought of Dad perhaps a little more than usual, because I think of Dad every day. But on this day, I looked up and I thought, this one's for you, Dad. Bucket list moment for me. I'm at Rorke's Drift, and it was not easy getting here because the rain all day has turned the road here into a slushy, dangerous, muddy road. It's in terrible condition. Well, the road is behind us. In front of us is the famous Rorke's Drift. Now, I'm not going to go to Isildwana today.
Mr. Bromwich, sir. Sentries come in from the hill. They say... Colour, Sergeant. Sir.
Which means I'll have to face that bloody road again. I'm already recognising things.
Very good, sir. The sentries report Zulus to the southwest.
That hill up there is where the Zulu sharpshooters were peppering the British. Look, I'm not going to be able to tell you where the biscuit boxes were packed. Where they fell back. You'd need a special guide for that. And there are plenty of documentaries, great documentaries. I think Richard Moody sent me highly recommended set of discs. Or there's other people that have vlogged, the defence of Rorke's Drift. I will say that, there's a bit of a museum. Here we go. I wasn't expecting it to be open. There's a few British discussing the oncoming onslaught. For God's sake, man, get on, man. The Zulus are on top of us. Oh, let's go and have a fight at Jim's. Oh, look at these shields. Double Omanzi. The king's half-brother led the Zulu force attacking Rorke's Drift. Crossing the Buffalo River, this aggressive and impetuous man was flaunting the king's instructions. The Zulus were not to enter Natal. But they did. Relics on the battlefield again. Martini Henry. There's a first day cover on, look at it. Military fork, buttons, various bottles and lids found in an old hospital dump site, Rorke's Drift. Look at these guys, those shields. Hoping to get a couple of these into our luggage. The Zulu army, the Amaboto, the age regiments, they could all be told by their shields. Zulu army. They had a few rifles. Oh, here's that famous scene in the hospital. Remember when their Zulus are attacking the hospital? They set fire to the roof. They break a hole in the wall to bring the wounded out. How you doing there, fella? Oh, not too bad, thank you for asking. But we're a bit hot with those Zulus, what? Give me a hand, would you? No, fella, you stay there. Okay, and save a bullet for yourself, in case. Oh, this guy. How? Here he comes. Of course, the characters in that film weren't all that accurate in some places. Private Henry Ook. This is the defence of the hospital. Otto Witt's home. Wow. Advancing Zulus. That's the way they came in. Zulus came in. They got out through that direction. Gunner Howard. Oh wow, look at this. I've never seen this museum. Zulu down there, poor fella. So I wonder if they couldn't have got up. Oh, I suppose not. I'm just thinking that the Zulus could have got along the base of the millie bags there and somehow speared the bags to let the sand out or something, but I doubt that would work. Oh, look at this. British. Here's the VCs. There we go. Probably things from the hospital and Rorke's Drift again, some buttons they found. Martini Henry ammo. That was found on a field that they were ploughing. Bromhead and chard. One of those was, of course, Michael Caine. Backroom boys. The stabbing assegai blade there in the middle. Oh, crikey. And he will be able to see. Wow. Okay. little Zulus in there. Not many British. Oh, look at this. They found some stuff under the floor. So this must be the hospital. Reverend Otto Wilt's original mission house was modified by the British during their fortifications of the post, destroyed in the Battle of Rorke's Drift. The battle was pulled down, the stones were used to build Fort Bromhead. In late 1879, the Swedish mission returned. In 1880, the present building was constructed according to Wilt's specifications. Stones from the original house may have been used in the structure. Excavations have revealed that the pre-1880 building was smaller than the present one. The existing building has many of the original features, including the windows. So there you go. So this is the hospital, but not as it was. Ulundi. Ulundi was the final battle where the Zulus were defeated. You know, there's the missionaries. Otto. There's all the Victoria crosses. This is in memory of Corporal Friedrich Schiess from the 3rd Regiment Native Natals. He won the VC for gallantry, and he died at sea on the 14th of December 1884. He has no memorial, so they put this up for him. A few goodies. The Sphinx badge. Remember, we've seen the Sphinx emblem on a few regiments. Halfpenny coins, bits and pieces. Bottle fragments. Look at this. Mud bricks. 1879. And see, we can get an idea if this is the hospital. I see. So they've all come from Isla over there and they've come running over here. The Oscarberg is that little mountain below us, behind us. Look at these wussies over there. They've all got their ponchos on. I've got the idea that where the stones are where defences were. There's a church here. So we were talking yesterday at Blood River, the sight or sound of an approaching Zulu impi, somewhere I think over there. So in the movie, of course, it's like a train. You hear the Zulus beating their knob kerries on their shields like a... and they're singing and they're chanting and they're revving themselves up for, the coming battle. Of course, after they dispatched the 1,000 men over at Isildwana, they would have thought this bunch of guys are going to be a pushover, aren't they? But they were wrong. They didn't count on British pluck. I remember I got real excited it must have been the 80s. I bought this game, like for Windows 3.1 or something. It was Rorke's Drift, and it was so slow. Like, I played it for about 6 or 8 months. Every now and then the computer would make a move and the Zulus would advance gradually. I'm not sure we ever even engaged them. It was so slow. But this could be like a cattle sangar. And maybe they... Whoa, what the hell? Where's that guy? Hello, mate. What the hell are you? Who the hell are you? Huge, buddy. Whoa. Locust or something. This might be where they kept the cattle. And, yeah, played it, and then we lost the disc. I was playing it on Roscoe's computer. Yeah, it was the only one who had a powerful enough computer to play this thing, which was so primitive today's, And, off he hops, that guy. And, found the disc, went to play it again, and the game had been lost. And then, just gave up on it. So I never got to play Rorke's Drift on the pewter. I'm still waiting for a good one to come out. A good Zulu war game for the pewter would be great. There's been a few modifications of Napoleon Total War. Someone added a patch, the old church. Maybe that's where they sing that Welsh hymn, the Men of Harlem or something. Harlech. Don't know who smashed the windows on the church, but once again. So a couple of those Zulus had rifles that they'd taken from the men at Isildwana. They're up on those slopes taking pot shots at the British. So I think these lines of brick are defensive positions. There's another one here along the line of it. These gum trees, yeah, probably weren't here back then. Yeah, it's quite a hairy drive to get here. The old VW T-Cross was sliding all over the place. Really hope I don't get bogged on the way back. Let's see what that sign says. It's 3:15, so I sort of got... I'll give myself another half hour. It's going to be a hell of a way back. That road is terrible, terrible. Oh, Rorke's grave. James Rorke. Obviously the man who found the station. Don't think he was a missionary. Could be wrong. I think it's probably just a trader and the missionaries maybe used it. Once again, for all the deep dive into this, there's plenty of documentaries and YouTube videos. Nice sort of monument. Of course everything's closed. Restaurant is closed. Reception, I was about to drive away because they didn't answer. You had to hoot considerably. There's the monument. Bit of an effort to get in there while we do it. There's a pile of shields, Zulu shields. With a leopard resting on them. It's beautiful, isn't it? Hey? Yeah, that's lovely. And I've just noticed it stopped raining. It's wet, but it stopped raining. Of course, I am in my thongs, my infamous yellow blank. I couldn't remember where I lived. Heathcote thongs. Yeah. It mentions a self-guided tour. Let's have a look if we can find maybe a printout or something. But they just don't look after these places. You know, frankly, my dear, they don't give a damn. All these gum trees here. Yeah, the air is cleared. Beautiful rolling plains of Zululand. The Valley of 1,000 Hills. So yeah, did they hear the Zulus coming, these guys? You know? Zulu! Well, we know that some of the Natal volunteers rode in on horses. They'd escaped from Isildwana. They came to tell these guys, mates, I wouldn't be taking out life insurance because the impi is on its way. Now those guys, those Zulus, have probably been 2 days without food. They just done a whole day's fight, and then they came over here to put in another huge day. You know, they would have been exhausted. Oh, okay. Oh, I suppose you'd do Isildwana and Rorkes in the day. They're very close together, but to be honest, I had nothing to do, you know. I just sit round in my hut with the rain falling with nothing to do. The internet wasn't working because of the rain. So I just thought, nah, why not? It's only 45 minutes here from Kwakunja.
Look to your front. Mark the orders. Mark a target when it comes. Look to your front.
Mark your target when it comes. Look to your front.
Look to your front. Mark a target when it comes.
I thought might as well just come out here and then do Isildwana on a separate day. My feet are squelching in the wet grass. Hope I don't get tick bite fever. Oh, no, not again. I have to check my feet when I get in the car. The ticks. This time it might finish me off. There's a little sort of monument plaquey thing here. It says, proud memory of the brave Zulu warriors who fell at the Battle of Rorke's Drift, the 22nd of January 1879, some of whom lie buried here. Okay. Well, these would have been the guys that breached the defences. What are you going to do with them? You got to bury them because, you know, disease and all that. Oh, Dad, this one is for you, mate. You're the one that took Aidan and I to the Dendy Theatre that time to see Zulu. I can imagine my little heart pounding and twitching about in my seat as the Zulus attacked again and again. The sounds of the rifle fire was probably in Dolby Atmos at the theatre in you know, full colour panoramic view, state of the art in its day. Yeah. Well, have a little picnic out here. It's a picnic. So, I made mention in the early video, well, when I first talked about my interest in the Zulu War, I said we got this bus from Durban, Mum and Dad and Aidan and I, on this minibus out to a Zulu village, and the driver or the coach tour operator sort of leaning over and saying, we're not too far from Rorke's Drift, and all of us looking out the window, and your Dad was saying to us, oh, he said it's just a few kilometres over that direction. This is where we wanted to come, Dad. This one's partly for you, Dad. Mostly for me, if that's okay. Look, I know hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people have come before me in the last, you know, decade. I don't know there's many trannies from Reedstyle with a Fossey's dressing gown for warmth have done this pilgrimage. Wow, well, I never knew those cliffs were there, those stone sort of flat cliffs. That would have been perfect for the Zulus to line up their rifles, to rest their rifles on, and use that as a perch. Fortunately for the British, they weren't very good shots. I don't know what that is. That's some sort of power thing, maybe. I doubt the shop's open. Now, once again, Blood River was good because they had memorabilia. These clowns don't have anything. Can't even be bothered being open. There's a bit of rain sent them scurrying inside.